Welcome to this week's edition of ATB-TV, and as you can see, we've prettied up the offside. Darren Dance has sunning himself up on the beach up north, and I've got Dave Eustace in to help get through the show today. Dave, welcome.
Thanks, Morris.
This is a little bit of a weekly thing we do, and rather than me copping all the shit this week and Dance having a crack at me, we might be able to talk some common sense. A bit about yourself, the stable, our runners, and what's coming up in the next 7 days. So, might just kick off. Obviously, been in the headlines the last 24 hours, just in regards to racing, and obviously a bit of a feel of what you think about a few issues with racing in general. And obviously, you touched on this weekend with, well, basically 3 twilight or not. This is Saturday, sorry.
Yeah.
Meetings all sort of around the same time frame, and just how it's probably, I don't know, it doesn't seem ideal programming on a Saturday.
No, I think, there's 6 meetings Friday, Saturday, only 1 is in the day.
Yeah.
Racing predominantly a daytime sport. That's not to say, and at no stage did I say that Twilight's night meetings don't have their place, and I think it's great that Flemington are trialling that on Saturday. And if it helps with turnover, then all the better for it for everyone. But I think we probably all agree that shifting one of those meetings, either Cranbourne or Wangaratta, to the day, it's on a Saturday, so I should think their attendance would stay the same or possibly increase if more children are going to come along during the afternoon instead of being night time. Friday night would be different, obviously if you shifted that to the day, but it's not, it's Saturday, so the response was, as you touched on before we clicked on, that it was all about turnover and the dollar, and no mention of participants, which is exactly what myself and as the trainers at Caulfield and Ballarat, it's really how I got onto it, was that sometimes there's a bit more to it than just a dollar, and a lot of people involved behind the scenes, which I'm not saying are totally ignored, but I think probably a more social aspect of it all could come into consideration.
Quick look myself, Wangaratta during the day, Twilight then crosses over at Flemington with Cranbourne at night, which Cranbourne have been a great night scenario for a long time. They talk figures. Now, like you said, a Wangaratta afternoon, kids, family, just makes sense. And I mean, they still get 3,000 people there if that's what they're quoting the figures now. The turnover wouldn't change because that group would know, and from the punter side of it, they're going to cross into a good Flemington meeting in Cranbourne. If I want to bet, they've got it for 8 hours. So
absolutely.
A little bit short-sighted. I like I said to you, I just couldn't believe the response from, well, I won't mention names, but it never mentioned anything about the participants at all. It was all just the bottom line.
And if we are just focused on the dollar isn't there on that day anyway, because what slightly got lost was that Wangaratta and Cranbourne, it's the same quality card. Wangaratta's 15 grand and Cranbourne's are 22, but they're both equal in quality.
If
they want the meeting, put the dollar on that they're talking about, they're trying to raise.
Yeah, that's right. If both were meeting the bottom line, why worth the $25,000 each race? You can find 100,000 to have on a jockeys challenge, which probably only 4 or 5 jockeys can win. Realistically, you can't find another 80,000 if you
I can't remember who won the other ones, but Craig Williams won one, and I can tell you he didn't. I think he needs 100,000, and I think he'd probably say that himself.
Yeah,
and I know that the response from the majority of the jockeys was that money could go to elsewhere, and fair play to them for saying that. I shouldn't think we'll see that concept, or certainly to that sort of prizes.
You can understand they probably got caught up in the Peter V'landys New South Wales thing and all that, and I think there's better ways around it. But I just hope the participants get more recognition, because without here, these stables, and then right down to the little stables, there's no show. Just from that point of view, is there much, with the ATA, Australian Trainers Association, is there much talk when you have those meetings, or how often do you have those meetings? Is it a group that have much push at all?
I think we probably don't get together. I mean, we certainly don't have a a meeting where an opportunity, even just once a year, we'll all be in the same room or try our best to. Obviously, you have at each racetrack we're going to have conversations, and we have our ideas, and yesterday really spawned from that. And I think hopefully something comes of it, but as a group we're probably not unified enough, and we need to work more on that.
And probably racing's made it that way, because 24/7 it's hard to get together, isn't it?
Absolutely,
We'll move on from that, but that certainly, look, it's great. It stirred up some interest, and I noticed, a lot of trainers got back what you were saying, and it's the same old thing. Twitter's great. Gets conversation going, but it needs to go to the next step.
It's a platform to get things going, but yes, and two things really is obviously it's not all doom and gloom. Racing, far from it. Racing's in a great state, and that brilliant prize money is there. So don't want anyone to think that we're just moaning and groaning. That's not the point. But also, fair play to them. I'm having a meeting with Paul Bloodworth on Tuesday. Who's the race planner, and with Brian Kruger. So fair play to them. And hopefully something comes of that.
I did notice some very naive comments, people saying, "Oh, a big train, a big group, go somewhere else." The thing is, you train for individual people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's the bloke that's got ownership in southern France or whatever. There's people that have got ownership in 58 horses that need to go to Wangaratta and all those places. So there's some real naive comments.
You want to evenly service clients at whatever level, and that's what we're always trying to do.
Right, moving on, mate, we'll just go through some runners, and I'll get you to touch on a couple that beat our runners, so you can just give us a spiel on how they're going. We had Write Your Name on Pakenham Cup Day, trained by Archie Alexander, went poorly, finished 10th. We went there as favourite. We drew gate 1, and feedback, and once you looked at all the racing across the day, the inside probably wasn't the place to be.
Definitely.
I think barrier 1, the closest finish was 4th. The only thing to that, we were gone probably 500 out, which was disappointing. He was under pressure then, but Archie's just going to freshen the horse up a little bit, rip all the headgear off, go back to 13 and 1400, which he went on over at Bendigo and ran well at Sandown. So I think you can allow a horse one bad run, but he did have a couple of things against him with the inside draw.
Yeah, we certainly had horses that ran well down the middle of the track, but struggled on the fence. So I think that was the general play of the day.
When you're in races 1 and 2, sometimes you just don't know until later in the day. So we went to Ararat on Monday. We had a horse that was formerly called Tycoon Griffo, trained by Robbie Griffiths, changed stables down with Daniel Bowman.
Right.
Notebook. We ran 3rd to a filly of yours. It was very impressive, actually. We were happy with our run. She's probably a 1600 metre horse in the making. You come from behind us and gave us Windburn, but to our horse's credit, she levelled out late and finished 3rd.
I think the race will work out. I heard Daniel on the radio the morning of, and he was confident of Notebook being a nice horse down the track. Our filly we like. We know the family. Ken King sort of breeds and races, and we've had the family the whole way through. So I think there's upside to her, and she'll make her name in town. And as I say, although it was Ararat, I think the race will work out.
I spoke to Daniel after the race. We were going to get beaten by 2 horses. It was yours and the Mick Kent horse, which probably got the favours up front, which Ararat can play to front runners. So we beat the rest fairly easy, and I think Daniel's now looking at 13 or 1400 with our affiliate either Geelong or Werribee. I think it's around Boxing Day. So hopefully your thoughts on your horse measure up, and we can just keep progressing out to a win.
Confident you will. So
the highlight of the week was the following day. We had stall trials in the morning, and then darted across to Terang to watch an Irishman do the job, mate. Now, been very patient with this horse all the way along, and it paid dividends on Wednesday. Yeah,
we just earmarked him early as a horse is going to develop into a lovely 3 and 4 year old. I mean, what he's doing now, really just as a baby, is exciting. He's the apple of Connor's eye, the foreman out there who rides him every day, and he took him there. Has done a great job with him, and there's more to come. We've got a very positive ride from Jared. He pinged the gates which certainly helped win the race. And I think he's a horse that will be better when he's got a few in front of him to chase, just because he is quite new and he's probably not ready to see the open spaces and really put them to bed.
So the news flicker in the last
exactly, which is great. That's what we want, isn't it? There's upside to him. He's come through it really well because firmish there. I think he'll love cutting the ground and obviously further. So great to get the win on the board. There's a 1400 metre benchmark 70 at Caulfield on Boxing Day, which is a jump, and we'll see how he works. As I said, he's going to want more ground, but he's a horse that wants racing as well. I think he's going to handle his racing. He's a colt, and I'll be confident of him running well in a race like that, and a nice stepping stone to out over further.
And like I said, he's a horse that looks, every trial he progressed a little bit more, and you've seen something that you liked, and obviously 1400 race day, it's an effort to get them fit enough, or know they're fit enough, and I think you were pretty confident after the Camperdown trial that he was on the mark there. Still got to do it on race day, but he was pretty good. I thought manners were great prior. He travelled nice outside the leader, and put him away pretty quick, really.
Yeah, I think his nature's going to take him a long way. He is a colt, but he doesn't need the operation just yet. He's not too heavy. He's very well balanced. And I think there's plenty of upside. Really exciting, but also next prep and even the prep after that, he's although he's winning now, I think he's we're going to have him for a while, and he's going to be a lot of fun.
Exciting times, and of course there's a good bonus money attached with 3 rows as we progress through. We've had a bit of luck with that family on the female side through Platelet and Perugia, and some of those owners have crossed over into him. So Artistic Princess, I think, is the granddad that goes back. So there's one owner that's first time in. The dad's been in other horses, and his son was first runner, first horse, and a winner. So
we'll try and keep that straight radar.
It's all downhill from now.
It is.
So that was really good, and great to have Jared aboard. We've had a little bit of luck with Jared. Hasn't been on a lot of our horses, but he just a polished rider with good hands.
Absolutely.
Job done.
And experience. He's got that experience. He's here every day, and great to help him out. Local riders, terrific.
A bit later in the day, we had Dentara finish 6th in the 1000 metre maiden, which you won with Delusions, and it was a big win too. She's probably a bit better than that class.
I think so.
I looked her in the mountain yard earlier. I don't know whether Jack Hill was going to get around the gates.
That's true.
She ran twice.
She's a bit spicy.
But I think she did it around the gates too, from what a couple of attendants were saying yesterday. So we got poleaxed at the start. I don't know who it was by, and we were out of contention. And then later in the race, Dentara probably was going to run 4th, and I think Jake Noonan was come off the fence and veered out about 4 horses and just gave her another hip and shoulder as if she hadn't had enough. So she only beaten, you won by 2.5 with Delusions, and I think she was about a length and a half off the 3rd horse, and probably should have finished right on the heel. So she'll be better getting out to 1200. This will fit her up, and hopefully there's a 58 there for her down the track. Delusions goes well.
To be fair, we probably had her wrong in the winter. She didn't like the soft ground, so she had 3 runs on the soft, and her rating dropped down. So we were hopeful she'd go and do something like that. I think she'll go on. She might be one to follow for you all through the grades, because she's quite well handicapped, I think.
No, for sure. So that's our runners, a winner and a third, and excuses for write your name, and obviously Dentara better for the run. So not too bad from the limited runners. Now, we haven't got too much on the weekend. You might know a lot about these days, but we've got Igniter with Robbie Griffiths, who's 3rd up at Flemington on Saturday. Runs his best races. He's a Schnitzel colt. Runs his best races at Flemington. 2 runs on paper look shocking, but he did work home strongly his last run over the last 100 at Sandown, and he's $34.07, and he's popped up at these prices before and ran good races. I think there's a few thinking the same way, and even Robbie, who doesn't normally mention too much about the punts, it might be a chance to get a little bit of Christmas turkey early. So Luke Curry who's flying gate 2, so we've been back in our initial runs, but he'll push forward on the weekend. So fingers crossed there. Our Crackerjack King with Matt Kamani is at Bendigo on Sunday over a mile, called Let's Have a Crack. Ran last on debut, beaten 13. Probably should have beaten 4 home, bar from getting squeezed up 200 out, and Dean Hull just sat up and just didn't want to knock him about. From 1200 out to a mile, that's probably more where he is pedigree wise.
Yeah.
We'll learn a little bit more there. I can't add too much more from the fact that he's trained on well, and we'll see a little bit more hopefully on Sunday going forward with him. Yeah, not much more in terms of runners.
Yep.
Tuesday we did have Passaggio with the Griffith stable. Well, it is nominated, but it's going to wait another week. And I don't think we've got anything at Bairnsdale Caulfield on Wednesday. So after that, leading into Christmas period, we'll have a few.
Relax before Christmas.
Yeah, well that's it, mate. I no doubt the boss will have plenty of work to do. We'll have our ATB review next week, and yeah, I'll just touch on a few of our horses. Obviously, an Irishman, we've ticked him off. The Frankel filly's going nicely.
She's absolutely blooming. Really, really excited by her. Galloped at stall, didn't she, on Wednesday? Worked really nicely. She's come through it well. She's bouncing up the hill this morning. Coat's coming. She's filling her frame, and she'll have a jump out next week, and then we'll probably just stop her there.
Yeah.
She's got a great mind on her, and I think she'll show nice ability in the jump out. Then we can give her sort of 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
She won't need much longer. She's really, really bodied up well, so she can have the break. You know, if any, you know, as much a mental break as a maturity thing.
Yeah.
And then I think we could get a run in sort of back end of the autumn if we want to, and then leading into the spring. But very, very excited by it.
Beautiful. The Jackalbury Chippewa Square. Now I filmed his trial at Ararat just for raw ability, and also just had like his action everywhere. He looks an exciting prospect. He's back in work.
Yeah, he is. He's grown. He has grown again. He's gone to the farm at Pakenham just to sort of round up, and he's going to do quite a lot of dressage work.
Yeah.
Just to, you know, put some muscle on behind the saddle where the power is. So he'll spend sort of 4 to 6 weeks there. Then he'll have a really good base to him before coming here. But well, just time will be of the essence with him.
Yeah.
He's grown, he's gone up again, which is no bad thing, but as a result, you know, they can just go a bit weak.
Yeah.
So we'll give him that time, and yes, absolutely, raw ability, no doubt it's there. Just we'll need to come together.
Put the whole package together. Couple of our old favourites now, one that hasn't raced for over 12 months now, go back to Jericho Cup Times, Penthouse Playboy. He looks like we're over all the bloody little niggling issues, especially with the foot abscess and everything.
Yeah.
He looked good in his gallop at stall.
Yeah, he did. He looks absolutely terrific.
Yeah.
We've obviously had our setbacks, long time off. Again, he's got an excellent base fitness to him. He's done plenty of work on the tread. He looks great in his skin. He's got a lovely glow to him. That rich chestnut colour's coming through.
Yeah.
Worked really well the other day, just, you know, on the bridle, and he'll probably want 2 or 3 more of those before heading to a jump out. But just very happy to be here, moving really well. The old enthusiasm's there, and looking forward to, you know, him starting to have a dip sort of back end of Jan, Feb.
Yeah, beautiful. Our favourite is Yogi, and obviously, you know, coming off that little injury when he was up in Sydney. I saw the vision at Balnarring. Balnarring yesterday. You were there?
Yeah.
He's come along nicely, not far off a jump out.
Yeah, he looks great. Obviously, touchwood very sound. His limbs feel rock solid, cool and cold. Obviously, beach work's really helping with that. And, you know, now that the faster work started, we've had no issues. So that's fantastic. We'll give him just going to give him an easy, dead straight line down the back at Sandown, jump out. They're really just using it as a gallop, but they're good jump outs because they're down the back straight at Sandown on the collar as well. So they're climbing slightly the whole way, great for their limbs. And then a couple of weeks in between jump outs, he's probably having 3 or 4, but we're just working towards you know, some staying races in the autumn, which, you know, at this stage he'll get there.
The next month will tell us a lot about which
way
we're going. Yeah. He loves sanding, he'll love going back. I think he's 3 from 4
there. We'll just
Internationals, obviously Southern France, really good win in the zipping. He's been good ever since, just pottering around. Yep.
He took to the beach absolutely straight away.
Not too many Irish or Irish people would think that.
But he's taken to it straight away, and that's exactly what you want, obviously. But that's where you'll get a bit of improvement. Is the beach work just stimulating them that little bit more. He'll never have seen that environment, and if the internationals that we get and purchase take to it. It really helps. Dr. Drill also won the Cranbourne Cup at a lower level than him, but he's undoubtedly improved much more than you would think, and the beach does that. So he'll just tip away there, and we'll start just back end of December, January, start getting some grass gallops into him.
Beautiful. South Pacific, still in quarantine?
Still in quarantine, so I haven't seen him yet, but obviously got great form.
Yeah, absolutely.
And very much looking forward to his autumn campaign.
Yep. 3 or 4 others just to finish off. We've seen Crackerjack Lady, went to Swan Hill, had a run. She was over the top probably then.
Ran well though, considering where she'd come from to get to the races and run the way she did. We're very happy with her.
Just in pre-training, so another month and you'll probably be seeing her again. We obviously try to keep her in the Jenny Craig paddock out home, not a tall bear, so we didn't want to look at like me coming back into training. 3 or 4 others, obviously Muriel's just went out to the paddock. Now she was going along great, but obviously it all just got to her pretty quickly. Yeah,
she went sore all over, muscle sore all over after a piece of work, and it was just either take our time, put her out at a good time of the year now and blossom, or see how she is in the next month, and then everything starts to brown off and go out when it's a little bit of a dust bowl. So I think none of us are in a rush, are we? We gave her the time, and she's a nice filly for next time round.
She's female size similar to an Irishman and all that too, that female bloodline. So she's a daughter of Prash, and Dan Jallica is another. It's one of our Dandino crop, or first crop of 5 or 6, and she's having a good break. I think we're looking at February before bringing her back in. You got a little bit of a look at her last prep.
Yeah, we had a sight, a good attitude. She settled in really well. Had 2 or 3 weeks here. We just tipped away. We're a little bit longer, and then said to Darren, let's give her a good break. And obviously he was on the same page. Dan, you know more better than me, but actually he was in quarantine when I first came over here. The first year I was here, so I do know. And was obviously a good servant, but time and ground is what he wanted, and she'll be the same.
Good segue in, Dave. Obviously, we'll just do a snapshot back. Obviously, family racing background. When did you come out here? Obviously, we're talking Dandino, so that's 2015. 15. Just give us a rundown. Obviously, family been always involved, and your movement out here, and obviously we're here now as Kiramar and David Eustace.
Yeah, look, I've been very fortunate the whole way through. Dad's trained my whole life. My parents, my mother. Her parents were both jockeys and trainers, and I had no idea. I really didn't. So I was on a pony, very early on, and worked right out for Dad until throughout school. Then worked for a trainer for 4 years in Newmarket called Roger Veron, who brought a couple of horses out here for the spring in 2013. One ran in the Cup, which was just amazing experience to be involved with a horse who ran in the Cup, and really that's why I stayed. Just being involved.
So that
with
wasn't
the spring.
intended? You just
it was a little bit of I'll go, and I'd done 4 years with him, so I had possibly run my race. We were leading into winter at home, so if I was needed to be replaced at home, there was a bit of leeway there. And Rogers just started training and was young anyway, so he knew what was ahead of me, whatever it could have been. So met Moods down here and just wondered whether there was an opportunity, and there was. So thankfully and gratefully Roger said kick on, and did a year for Moods, and that's sort of when I worked here at Caulfield.
Right, so you're a foreman there at Moods?
Yeah, exactly, and that was, I just missed Black Caviar actually. I was dissident when he was a 4-year-old, was the year I was there, and that's how I got to know Kieran really. And then did a year with Moods, did a year in Sydney actually for the Snowdens.
Yeah.
And then when Kieran grew, he asked me to come down. So
Beautiful.
Where we've been a match made in heaven ever since, possibly you could call it that. But 3 years and counting, and absolutely loving it.
It's been some good commentary, some interesting commentary that, two different characters, if I can put it that way. I mean, a lot of people look at Kieran and say, well, how laid back can he be as a trainer? And then you're probably a bit, no knock on anyone, more attentive and probably seem to be out there and up there more. It seems to be a really good cross.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got fantastic ideas, and he's very diverse and thinks of any possible way of doing it. And yeah, absolutely, I'm a bit more measured and a bit more, I suppose just a little bit more militant. So it's a good combination. Opposites attract, and essentially we have the same ideas. That I think having been brought up in England and those style of tracks helps. And we have that mix really in the training as well, in that we've got Ballarat with the hills and a bit more open space, and we've got the track training at Caulfield, which suits a lot of horses and the beach. So
and then you got Warwick Farm.
And Warwick Farm too. So and that's going extremely well, and Annabelle's doing a great job there.
The dynamics of that, obviously, I see you more here at Ballarat, and obviously Kieran's probably more in town. I'm not here all the time. You cross that over a bit, so you get a look at. Also, you get to look here. And
really, we have Caulfield and Balnarring, and they sort of marry together a bit. Horses, I wouldn't say just your good horses, but horses that need the beach. They can come into Caulfield and have a gallop either at Caulfield or Sandown. And they're generally galloped on a Tuesday, so I'll be at Caulfield with Kieran on Tuesday, generally planning at Caulfield on a Monday actually for the whole week. And then I'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday as a rule at Ballarat, and that gives Kieran the opportunity to go up to Sydney. So that's how roughly how we work it, and we make a plan every Monday for the week, and as you know and everyone knows, the reason it works is because we've got great facilities and great staff and great owners.
And trust in everything of it.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it was a big time back in March when this became part of the stable setup. Now, that took a little while. Probably took a long time to get used to. Obviously the hill track and everything, and the whole environment, and obviously the whole upsetting part of it with the staff. I suppose they had to sort of groom in and fit in. It's all going well now, but there would have been times where it was tough for a while. Yeah,
absolutely, and to keep saying it, but it's full credit to all the staff that we took over from Darren. They never took a step back, never, not once, and they just were a huge help straight away. And I think that was, I'd say it took 6 months to get to the point where you never got to, you're learning all the time, but we've got a handle on the place and how the tracks work and the best way of using this amazing facility. But I think it was sped up because we took over, and everyone, the staff and everyone was so helpful. I think it would probably still be working out how to do it now if we didn't. So full credit to them.
Everyone was on board from day one.
Everyone, and we're incredibly grateful for that.
Well, leave it there, mate. I've taken up probably a bit more time than I thought. We don't get the chance to sit down with our trainers very often, and look, it's been our last 3 winners have come from the Mars stable, so we want to grow that. I know we've got a little list there, and hopefully that keeps growing and the winners keep coming. So all the best for the rest of this year. Have a great Christmas, and let's hope 2020 is a lot more ATB Eustace connected winners.
I hope so.
Thanks
very much. No, we thanks everyone for the support, and have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
I'm going down to show my kids the Christmas lights at Mile tonight. I know the valley's on, so the radio will be on, much to the detriment, the annoyance of the missus. There's got to be one there.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a filly called mare called Kardashian, who I think can back up, win at Sandown. She's got a lovely gate in 2. And I think she'll be hard to beat. And tomorrow, Bam's on Fire runs down the straight at Flemington. Was unlucky here on Ballarat Cup Day. I think she'll win.
There's 2 for you guys. I know Darren Dance likes your tips here, and it's just spot on the money. So we'll test the water again.
You struck me lucky. That doesn't happen very often.
Alright, good on you, Dave. Thanks for your time, and yeah, to all the ATB people out with the runner over the weekend, good luck, and we'll be back next weekend for our final 2019 before we put the camera away